He wants to be able to survey completely. There's 2 timeouts used in the third quarter. You know, because there was a potential delay game by Robert Saleh last night, and you see Aaron look over to the sideline hey, that's on me. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's his watching his brain kind of operate is great for us. I mean, it's terrible for defense coordinators and defenses as a whole, especially if they have had a couple blown coverages. He's going to figure it out, but him and Saleh last night, what did he push him for, AJ?
Yeah, what's going on there? Something about two score, going up 2 scores or whatever. I know they referenced it. They talked about it in his post-game presser. Look at this. Here we go. Dap.
Why'd he
get out of here? Come on.
Why'd he side eye?
Yeah, it's the eyes. It's the eye. Yeah.
What is he trying to say? Is he messing with him? I know Aaron said after the game, Saleh's not a big hugger. He usually does the 2. So I think Aaron thought Saleh was going to go pat him on the chest. Aaron's like, no, I'm going to jump out and get ahead of this.
Yeah, but you got to, adapt or die?
That's right.
Okay. And so when Saleh has a little bit of a moment of emotion there, Aaron, I think you got to meet him halfway with that hug. I think you can ask out hug if you want. You can do whatever type of hug you need to do there. But I think Aaron was caught off guard. And then I think Aaron immediately went to talk shit to Coach Saleh, which is a sign of a good relationship, not a bad one, even though everybody on the internet is saying it's a bad one. But him looking at the coach saying 2-score lead, I think that's the first in a long time. I got a Hembo stat that came over, and it basically said, here we go. The Jets had 6 sacks last night with a 14-plus point lead, 2-score lead. They had 2 such sacks in 51 games across Saleh's first 3 seasons. Jeez. So that was one of the stats that Hembo sent over there. So 2-score lead, the ability for his defense to hunt, also kind of probably something that Saleh talks about a lot, So fascinating times as they're trying to, as Aaron said, rebuild a culture here that's been tortured for years and years. I'm very happy that he has this we talked about 2020 there for a little bit. Whenever Jordan Love gets drafted, he has the chip. That's a whole new one. Mm-hmm. Then he gets kicked out of the organization after going into the darkness, seemingly. And kicked out is certainly an interesting thing. They move on. He has to move on to somewhere else. I apologize for wording it that way, Packers fans. I understand this is part of business, and I think Guntz made a great decision, okay? At the time, very confused, because you guys were, nonetheless. I think it is a good decision. But he feels that in his heart, in his mindset, I'm not good enough to win here in Green Bay anymore. I sat for 3 years here. I became a man here. I did everything. I'm not good enough to win, and this guy is the one that's good enough. That's how elite competitors put it in their head. So he goes to the Jets, and last year we were going to get spite Aaron.
Oh, yep.
Spite Aaron. And we were all very excited. Jets fans were very excited. And then that thing ends so quickly, and then he gets to hear more shit talked about him. Think about that. He gets more shit talked about him, about how he's too old, not going to be able to come back. What is he going to do? He's going to have dolphins hum over his Achilles, and he's going to heal faster than anybody else. He's 40 years old, and he's going to come back earlier than anybody else. All those things just continue to build up, and it's like, if last night is any indication of anything we know about Aaron Rodgers, it's like Jets fans have a reason to be very, very excited for an offensively inept organization that it has been. Feels like you might have figured out. And that Hackett offense looks a lot different whenever he's running it versus maybe some other people.
Yeah, it does. You mentioned Conklin earlier. Doesn't it feel like he and Conklin are just that relationship is going to continue to grow? In watching Aaron move the safeties and move different players with his eyes and shoulders and then hit Conklin a few times, these things were a thing of beauty here. I mean, it just feels like one of those games where they come together. Yeah, what did he say?
He said 6 different receivers in the first quarter or something like that, or the first
drive. I think it might have been the first drive. I think it was 6. Yeah, I think it might have been the first drive or the second drive. But yeah, it was very, very early. Pat, how about
Gibson got the ball there. He's one of the most explosive people on the field. He's an incredible returner. So if they're going to work some shit in for him as well, with Braylon Allen, who, wow, what a dog. And a tweet just got sent in that Braylon Allen put out before the combine, where he said something along the lines of I'm not going to prove how good of a football player I am by running in underwear or something like that about the combine. Nice. So I love this guy.
Yes.
He's 20 years old. Everyone wanted to see me run in my underwear to decide if I was a good football player. Love this. So I like his mindset. I like that he's the youngest player in football. And I like that him and Breece Hall are a great 1-2 back there. And it's, come on, man. They got everything over there, don't they?
Pat, how about, and you noticed it, and I'm sure not a lot of people did during the game last night when Aaron's scanning the defense, and then he goes can, and every single person on the offense is on the exact same page.
Yeah, I think this is a good indicator of where everybody is right now. This is obviously first quarter, and this is the thing, One person hears it, everybody hears it. Right there, everybody literally goes, can. Everybody. Look at the whole team. Every skill position, center, offensive lineman, obviously Aaron. We're all on the same page, and then boom, it becomes a first down run. Like it's like those little checks right there. No offense to Zach Wilson, okay? No offense to
he's
any
a
other
sweet
quarterback.
boy.
Sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy.
Very
And he's got a
sweet
brother.
boy.
He's got a brother that's playing football, I do believe.
Yeah.
Also
Utah.
a sweet boy.
Sweet boy, good face. Got good.
Go
He's got
family.
good face. But like the ability, first of all, for Hackett and Aaron, I assume is a big piece of it, to say like, hey, everyone echo the call. Okay, everyone echo the call. That is kind of a conversation that's had in some teams. Like I don't want to say they're too good for it, but people act like they're too good to do it. So everybody being on the same page, everybody echoing the same call, everybody rowing in the same direction, and then getting the play option that is best for your team to succeed. It's like that's another little thing that's different whenever Aaron's the quarterback of the Hackett offense as opposed to maybe anybody else. And that's not just for the Jets. That's league wide. And this goes back to what Kurt Warner was saying about these quarterbacks developing and learning the defense and learning the protection. It's like checking to a good run as opposed to a bad run is just as important as checking from a run to a pass if the box is loaded. It's like I got real excited about Aaron playing last night and the Jets playing last night, especially with how the league has looked.
Yep.
Like outside the Saints.
It's right?
Right?
Weird. Yeah, believe me, I don't think you're the only one. There's a ton of Jets fans that feel the same way. But the whole can situation, like coaches will say that like we need visual confirmation on the film. If you're sitting there with the whole defense and you're watching something, and one guy said, "Oh, I didn't get the call. I don't know what's going on." No, like that's why sometimes you'll see dudes like patting the back of their ass cheek or something. They're letting the safety know, "Hey, I got the call," or "This is where our alignment is." Like you need to give visual confirmation so someone can't say, "Oh, I told him the call." I'm like, no, you need to confirm with me that you got this call, and if you do, your hand signals, all that stuff. Yeah, it seems like a little thing, but obviously the little things are a big deal. We know that.
Well, and it means everybody's all in, and the message is getting through, which is a big deal. The message getting through is a big deal. And that's first quarter, and that's right after Moses.
Yeah.
Moses goes over to fight for him.
Yeah.
For Brees, I think.
Yeah, it was Brees.
Got slammed.
When he got slammed by Tavai, right here. And that was a
So this
great
is
play.
Obviously cheating. Can't do that.
What are
Come
we
on.
doing, Tavai?
Can't do that. But then look, first person over there ready to fight before Brees even has a time to do anything. His teammate Moses
John
steps
Simpson.
up for him.
Wait, that was a penalty?
That's on us.
I'm sorry, Simpson, not Moses. That's on me. Mr. Simpson, I do apologize. But Simpson interrupts before Brees can even get into it and says, And then the next play, literally the next play is the cans. It's like, as I'm watching this come together, I'm like, this team is like attention to detail, accountable, seemingly playing for each other. Is this the Jets? Because I heard Aaron is terrible for team chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I heard he's terrible.
Well,
but
Egypt
this feels
changed
like a
him.
much different Jets than when he's not in the building. Sorry about that, Tim. Go
What'd you
ahead.
say,
No,
Tom?
I was saying Egypt changed him. He spoke to a couple pharaohs.
King Tut.
Yeah, and
His tomb
King
really
Tutankhamun
spoke to
himself.
him.
Yes, and curses are words. So that's all that's
Spells, Tony, not words. Okay. But
No,
I think,
words are spells.
Yeah.
That's why they are spelled. Jeez.
Pat, to your point about watching them, though, like, I think this, like, as a Packers fan, this was kind of everyone's worst nightmare because a lot of people, and granted, Jordan Love has been great, so it eases it quite a bit. But everyone kind of knew Rodgers still had this in him, and last night just was like a vintage Rodgers game. Like it felt.
Are you sure? I think people were saying, "Hey, he's not the same dude. His arm
no.
isn't the same."
Yeah,
Like,
I think a lot of Packers fans were saying that, but they were done with all the extracurricular stuff, not the stuff like on the football field. I think there's still a large majority of fans who he's unbelievable, and like last night did feel like a 2016, 2017 Rodgers. And I think if you're a Jets fan, the most exciting part is like he's still only 3 games in. Like they're going to get better. So like what we saw last night, and granted, you take it with a grain of salt because the Patriots aren't the best, but their defense is tough. Like judging by what we saw last night, like imagine what this team, if they stay healthy, is going to look like 7 weeks from now.
look at the time of possession. Doubled him up in time of possession, Pat. Do you care about that? Is that something that was Chuck big on time of possession?
Yeah, and that means they're staying timely. They're on schedule, which is another thing to be excited about if you're a Jets fan, because you're able to put up 400 total yards, but you ran the ball. You stayed seemingly pretty balanced. You're able to kind of chip away at the clock, and whenever you needed it, you're able to complete. So it's like, I think everything went right for the Jets last night. Like, Is this their new? Is this what they are now? Like, that's the whole.
67%
Is
on
it-
third down.
Yeah,
is
that's
insane,
the third
too.
down's the difference. And then what? The Patriots were 2 for 11 on third down, and they're 10 for
Easy.
15. That's if you can. Yeah, that's what happens. Time of possession. You're converting third downs over and over and over again, Conman.
Yeah, and then the night just kept going on and
And on 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 and on.
It wasn't as fun.